Wow, my friends, check out this lunchbox. Now, this just ain't no any ordinary lunchbox. This is gonna be a heated lunchbox that's gonna heat your lunch up on the go. Yes. So right off the bat, let me tell you that they sent this to me as a gift because I often work outside and I need a hot, hearty lunch when it's noontime, I tell you. And that's exactly what this lunchbox here is gonna do. Now, this lunchbox is jam-packed full of features. So not only are you going to get this insulated case here that the lunchbox is going to sit in with a nice pocket on top, but this thing here is going to be a cordless, rechargeable heater that's going to heat up any kind of lunch for you to the T. So I really wanted to put this to the test. So I got out my thermal camera and I took it with me on my work day so I could show you how great this thing really works. So what I was really impressed about off the bat is when you open this up, the metal piece inside here is going to be that stainless steel. Now, what's fantastic about this is that you could take this itself, put your lunch on it, and put it in the freezer. So it's going to get that deep ice cold in there. So I went ahead and I stuck that stainless steel pan in my freezer, but I didn't put my food inside of it. So I woke up super early the next morning, and then I'm like, okay, let's get my lunch going. I put some taco meat in here, I put some beans in here, and I put some potato scraps in here. And then I strapped it up inside of this lunchbox with that frozen stainless steel pan. So when that noon hour hit and it was time for lunch, I went into the break room and I grabbed my lunchbox out. And the first thing I did was open that pocket on top, that top zipper. And this is going to be a great spot for you to put your snacks in, your drinks in, put an ice pack in there, and that's going to keep this really cold. So I seen right off the bat when I opened this up, this was a cool 26, 27 degrees inside of this compartment. And my tea was chilled, I tell you. So then I pulled out that bag of cheese that I had for my burrito, and that was cold as well with the 25, 26 degrees that was going on in this top pocket. So I was super impressed that 6 hours later throughout the day, this top pocket was still insulated and still cold. So then I opened up that bottom half of this lunch compartment here and I pulled that lunch box out. And then I opened it up and I had the ice pack on top. So that was still 32 degrees coming from the ice pack later in the day. I opened up my container here to check out my meat and my beans, and this was a cool 40 degrees inside of here. So that really blew me away that half of the day later, this was still cold inside of here. So I'm like, okay, let's go. I charged it up last night and I didn't have to plug it in. I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was pull that lunchbox out of the insulated bag and hit the power button. So then I hit that timer for 20 minutes and I thought, hey, let's do it like 15 minutes, check on it and put the cheese in it. So I let it go about 15 minutes and then I opened up that lunchbox. And when I pulled that lid off, this thing was piping hot, I tell you. I pulled the lid off and I looked inside my meat and that was about 137, 140 degrees inside of there. So that was nice and toasty after 15 minutes. I grabbed that cool bag of cheese from that top section and I sprinkled it on top of my meat, my beans, and my potatoes. And then I took the tortilla and I put it in here as well so I could warm that tortilla up. Yeah. So I closed that lid. I set it for another 5 minutes and then I opened it back up and I was impressed. My tortilla was warm, it was soft, and inside here was pushing a good 130 to 135 still. That cheese was melted, this was hot, and I was super impressed. So I went ahead and I poured that out inside of my tortilla, and I had a nice warm lunch here at lunchtime. And that is fantastic because I'm not used to having those kind of lunches when I'm working out in the elements. You know, we don't have access to microwaves and ovens and stuff like that. So with me being able to heat this big old lunchbox up and heat my lunch up, I was super impressed. So this was only about 20 minutes of going and I got it up to that 140 degrees for a nice hot burrito. So I really wanted to put it to the test later during the day when I got home. So I cleaned out my lunchbox, I filled this up, and I tell you, you could put 6 cups of water in here. So I filled this up with water and I set the timer for about 40 minutes. And when that finished up, I grabbed that lid off and it almost looked like it was just boiling, I tell you. And then I checked the temperature, and this was a good 160 degrees inside of there. Yes, 160 degrees. So after 40 minutes, 6 cups of water was at 160, and I am just blown away with this. So I guess the proof is right there in the pudding. I showed you the temperatures with my thermal camera with how this thing works and how this is going to heat up your food. So let's just go into a little bit of that unboxing because I was super impressed with everything that came included. So I opened that box up, and like I said, this bag here is amazing. It's 2 sections. You're going to have the top and the bottom, and it's going to be thermal insulated. So the cold is going to stay in, the hot's going to stay out, or vice versa. And then that bottom section is nice as well. And the lunchbox itself is going to be 3 pieces. So you're going to have the lid here with the snapping down sides on it to hold it on. And then you're going to have that stainless steel tub, and that's going to have a lid on it as well. And then this lid is going to have 31 numbers on it, so you can day dot it to the day that you package that food. And then also you got the bottom in here, and this is amazing. This is your heating element, and this is just fantastic with how it works. And then also included inside of it was a cleaning sponge, so you can go ahead and scrub that out on the go. And then it also had a fork and a spoon. Yes, they thought about everything when they packaged this up for you. And I love that it also came included with the charging cable. So it's going to be a USB-C charging cable that plugs into the back of it, that's going to plug into the wall to charge this up. And I wanted to test it out. So I also charged it up with one of my power banks and a USB-C cable, and it worked just fine. This is a fast charging machine here. It's going to charge really quickly, and you're going to be able to go for at least an hour and a half on a full charge. So this is great. So all in all, if you're looking to step up your lunch game, this right here is definitely going to be the route to go. You are going to be the talk of the crew when you're heating up some tacos, some burritos. I tell you, making some hot cocoa on the job. So all in all, this heated lunchbox here is just fantastic.